Well, Fox 6's Bill Miston joins us now as state lawmakers here in Wisconsin respond to questions about legislative options to enact gun reform. And Bill, not surprisingly, Assembly leaders falling on different sides of this debate.
No, Mary, not at all surprising. Minority Leader Gordon Hinn saying today that lawmakers should do everything within their power to protect the public. And Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying that the laws on the books work as intended, and the only option moving forward is to enforce those laws. And if a person decides to commit a crime, the only result is to arrest that person after the fact.
This is not and should not be a partisan issue. This is an American issue.
President Biden Tuesday calling for the Senate to pass bipartisan House gun reform bills that expands background checks on all commercial gun sales and closes a loophole allowing for some sales to be finalized before a background check. Law enforcement says the Boulder suspect bought the rifle 6 days before the attack. Biden also pushing for banning assault rifles and high-capacity magazines.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future, and to urge my colleagues in the House and Senate to act.
In less than a week, 18 people have been killed in mass shootings in Boulder and Atlanta. A 2019 Marquette Law School poll found 80% of those surveyed in the state support expanding background checks in the so-called red flag law, allowing family or law enforcement to take firearms if a person is deemed a danger by a judge.
Perhaps no sign that we're restoring some normalcy post-pandemic than the horrible part of normal in the return to mass shootings.
Ahead of the Assembly session Tuesday, Minority Leader Gordon Hinn saying gun reform should be on the agenda.
We should do everything possible to minimize the risks out there and demonstrate to the public that we care.
We know that the vast majority of weapons that are purchased in the state already go through a background check process.
Speaker Robin Vos says the date is unclear if background check expansion would make residents safer and the laws on the books work as intended.
But if they were done lawfully, it seems like we already have a process, and if someone chooses to break the law, there's very little that we can do besides arrest them after they've committed the act.
And now, as Ray Bogan alluded to, federal movement on gun reform, one to watch, as yet again the elimination of the filibuster is one question that's going to be asked as Democrats seek to try and get legislation through the U.S. Senate. And it's unclear if there's any type of appetite for gun reform here at the state level. You may remember most famously back in 2019, Governor Tony Evers had called for a special session on gun reform measures. Well, the Senate and Assembly, controlled by Republicans here in the state, gavelled in and gavelled out without taking up the matter. In Milwaukee, Bill Miston, Fox 6 News.
Bill, thank you.